Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for the 6th day of our discussions on Bhishma Dev's glories and prayers. Yesterday we discussed about 3 prayers of Bhishma. Bhishma was saying, Iti matirkal upakalpita vitrishna Bhagavati satvata pungave vibhumni. Let me withdraw my mind and senses. Let me withdraw my thinking, feeling, willing from all kinds of subjects and focus only on Krishna and nothing else. And in the second prayer, Bhishma Dev said, Tribhuvana kamanam tamalavarnam ravikara gauravarambaram dadhane vapuralakakula vritananabjam vijaya sakhe ratirastu me navadya. So he glorified the beautiful form of Krishna, Bhishma Dev. One common thing you can notice throughout Srimad Bhagavatam is most of the devotees glorify Krishna's form. Whether it is Bhishma Dev or the Dwarakavasis or Vrajavasis or Mathuravasis or many other devotees, whether they are in an intimate mood or reverential mood, they speak something about Krishna's beauty, Vishnu's beauty. So, beauty of the Lord is one of the striking aspects of his personality, the physical beauty. Yesterday we were discussing from so many shlokas why Krishna wears peacock feather, what is the impact of Krishna's flute on the minds of those who are hearing that flute. So every aspect of Krishna's personality is beautiful, Krishna's form is beautiful, Krishna's pastimes are beautiful, sweet. Adharam, madhuram, vadanam, madhuram, nayanam, madhuram, hasitam, madhuram. Everything is madhuram about Krishna. His name is madhuram. Sweetness, innocence, simplicity. These are the aspects of Krishna's form, especially in Vrindavan Dham. Bhishmadev glorified Krishna's beauty in this way. And slowly, he meditated on the scene on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He said, Yudhitu ragarajo vidhumra vishvak kachalulita shramavaryalankritasye. Shramavaри alankritasye. In the second shloka, he described Krishna's beauty very nicely by comparing it with tamal tree, etc., etc. But now, he is meditating on Krishna's beauty on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yesterday, most of the discussion is on beauty of Krishna. That's what Bhishma is meditating upon. So, even when Krishna is perspiring, even when Krishna's hairs become dirty by the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, Krishna is beautiful. Krishna is extremely beautiful. And even if there are wounds on Krishna's body because of the sharp arrows of Bhishma, Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana. Mama Nishita Sharair. My sharp arrows Vibhidyamana. They pierced Krishna's kavacha also, Krishna's body. And there are wounds. And Bhishma is relishing that darshan. So, once the gopis of Vrindavan came to Kurukshetra. Not during the battle. Much before the battle. It was solar eclipse time. All the Vrajavasis, Hastinapurvasis, Dwarakavasis and different personalities and kings and rulers from different places all over the globe have assembled at Kurukshetra just to observe this auspicious occasion of this eclipse or just to take some auspicious baths on the occasion of this eclipse. So at that time, after a long gap, the gopis saw Krishna. The gopis saw Krishna. Krishna left Vrindavan when he was hardly 10-11-year-old boy. Akrura came and took him. Then these gopis finally saw Krishna after a long gap and they are supposed to be happy, but they were not happy. Because they were accustomed to see Krishna surrounded by gopas and cows and calves and peacocks and butterflies and other forest animals, deer. But now they are seeing Krishna not with a turban but with a crown, dazzling crown. Not with gopas and gopis and cows and calves around him, but with horses and elephants and soldiers and different ministers around him in a royal attire. So the gopis felt separation while seeing Krishna. Can you just imagine? Even while seeing Krishna, you feel separation from Krishna. Prema Vaichitya. Special effects. So even while sitting right in front of Krishna, standing right in front of Krishna, they were feeling separation from Krishna's form as a cowhead boy in Vrindavan. So within their hearts, all the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani pulled Krishna's chariot, pulled Baladev and Subhadra's chariot. Their chariots were pulled by these gopis within their hearts. Let's take Krishna to Vrindavan. This is not the Krishna that we want to see. We want to see Krishna as a cowhead boy in Vrindavan. And celebrating those emotions of the gopis of Vrindavan, we celebrate Jagannath Ratha Yatra. That's the background of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So different devotees relish Krishna in different ways. Not every devotee will relish every form of Krishna. Yesterday, we were discussing Krishna's beauty. Today one devotee was sharing with me, Prabhu, you were giving class, and when you started why Krishna wears peacock feather, when you started Krishna's beauty and Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, we went into ecstasy. Another devotee told me today, Prabhu, when you started about Krishna's beauty, I could not connect with it, but before that you were speaking so many lessons on how to deal with difficulties and how to observe. I could connect with that more. I was taking more notes. I could not take more notes when you started Krishna's beauty. I cannot connect with it. So different devotees relish different aspects of Krishna's personality, right? Depending on their experiences. Bhishma is relishing Krishna's beauty as a warrior on the battlefield, as a chariot driver on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but the Vrajavasis could not relish Krishna's beauty as a prince in Kurukshetra. They wanted to see him only as a cowherd boy. We can't see a whip in Krishna's hand driving the horses. We have to see a flute in Krishna's hand, mesmerizing all of us. We can't see a dazzling crown on Krishna's head. We need to see a simple turban or some bun on Krishna's head with a nice peacock feather. That's gopis' taste, right? Different devotees have different tastes. The gopis are saying in the Gopi Gita, Sharadudashaye sadhu jata sad sarasi jodara shri mushadrisha Suratanathate shulkadasika varada nighnato neha kim vadha Sharadudashaye sadhu jatasat. Sharad means Sharad Ritu, autumn season, post monsoon. Udasaye means this reservoir of water. Sharadudashaye sadhu jatasat. Sadhu jata means that which has a pure birth, a great birth. Sharadudashaye sadhu jatasat means in the reservoirs of water during the autumn season in Vrindavan, nice lotuses bloom, nice lotuses blossom. Sharadudashaye sadhu jatasat sarasi jodara shri mushadrisha. Sarasi jodara. Saras means this water reservoir, lake. Sarasija means that which is born out of lake, which is lotus. So Krishna, the beauty of your face is as fresh and as enchanting and as wonderful as freshly blossomed autumn lotus in the reservoirs of water in Vrindavan. They are saying, Sarasi jodara Sri Mushadrisha. Further they say, Suratanathate shulkadasika. Suratanatha. Oh Lord, you are the Natha, you are the master of what? Surati. Means divine mellow, enchanting relationship with Krishna. You are the master of all relationships, my dear Krishna, and we are connecting with you in the Parakiya Bhava, in the Madhurya Rasa, as your lovers, as your preyasis. So we have connected with you and we are dedicating ourselves completely to you. But what is happening with you, Krishna? You are Suratanatha, but you are neglecting us. Ashulka dasika. We are like your dasis, maid servants, without any shulka, without any payment, without any salary. Just because we are working for you without taking any salary, you are taking us for granted. You are neglecting us, you are ignoring us. You have called us here and then you have disappeared from the scene. Is it appropriate on your part, my dear Lord? Give us the shulka, give us the salary of your darshan. Give us the salary of your beautiful face. We want to take your darshan. Shulka dasika, ashulka dasika. Varada nighnato neha kim vadha. Oh Varada. Vara means boon, benediction. Varada means one who bestows benedictions. Varada nighnato neha kim vadha. Oh Lord, you are the bestower of benedictions. You are the best of all bestowers of benedictions. Still, you are not even giving us this boon of your darshan. Is it appropriate? Neha kim vadha is not killing innocent women. You have called us. We left everything. Pati sutanvayad bhratru bandhava ati vilanghyate nyachyutagata. Pati, sutta, bhratru, bandhava, you have left everybody. We have given up all our family members, relatives, husbands and sons and everybody. And we have come here. Udgita mohitaha. We are very attracted to your loud flute song. And we have abandoned everybody and we came in this Sharat Purnima night to this forest. But Kitava yoshitaha kastyaja nishi. Kitava yoshitaha. So you, Kitava, you cheater, you are giving up the gopis who have surrendered to you. You have abandoned us mercilessly. They're chastising Krishna. Out of their intense emotion, the gopis can scold Krishna also. Yesterday we have seen, or day before yesterday, Mother Yashoda was scolding Krishna in Vatsalya Prema. She said, you are like a monkey, you are a monkey lover, you are a house plunderer, you are a butter thief, you are a liar, you speak so many lies. You made me wander in all the streets of Vrindavan, you broke my butter pot. How many offenses you have done, my dear Krishna? You broke my butter pot, you have stolen butter, you have distributed butter to the monkeys, and you ran away when I was trying to catch you, and you made me wander in all the streets of Vrindavan, and finally when I caught you, you started speaking so many lies. No more milk products for you, no more toys for you, no more playmates for you, no movement for you. I will tie you up. Damodar Leela happened. You understand? So, Yashoda Mata is scolding Krishna. The gopis, the younger gopis, Madhurya gopis are also scolding Krishna. How many times Krishna has to, hear all these scoldings? So sometimes Krishna becomes little exhausted hearing prayers of devotees. All the reverential prayers. Sometimes Krishna likes scolding. Right? In the Utthana ceremony, Utthana ceremony? Krishna was a 3-month-old baby. For the first time, this baby turned on his back, on his own. Generally, babies don't have the ability to turn on their back. Mothers have to lift them. They make them lie down on their back or lie down on their belly. They do all that. But first time when the child develops the ability to turn on his own, that stage of child's growth is celebrated by the mothers as Utthana ceremony. Mother Yashoda was conducting this Utthana ceremony. She called all the neighboring gopis and made a great celebration. So in the Vedic days, child's birth or every significant stage in the child's growth is a cause of celebration for the parents. So, Mother Yashoda was celebrating so nicely. Then all the Brahmanas came and started chanting different mantras. Krishna was yawning. Krishna felt sleepy hearing all the mantras. Nothing to minimize the glory of the mantras, but the point is, sometimes Krishna also gets little exhausted or bored with too many reverential prayers. He likes scolding. When the gopis are scolding him, whether they are younger gopis or older gopis, when gopis are scolding him, Krishna becomes very happy. Krishna relishes that. Krishna forgets that he is God in Vrindavan. But outside Vrindavan, Krishna acts like a God and people worship him with reverential prayers. So Krishna's beauty is relished by different devotees in different ways, and different devotees can connect with Krishna in different emotions. So we need to respect every devotee for whatever emotion they can connect with in their connection with Krishna. So Bhishma is having a different rasa. It may be unconventional on the part of a devotee to stand opposite of Krishna and shower arrows on Krishna and relish perspiration and wounds and blood and dust on Krishna's body. Right? But the gopis of Vrindavan, they have such delicate hearts, they have such simple and sensitive hearts that whenever they think that, oh, Krishna is walking barefoot in Vrindavan and all the sharp thorns or pebbles or sharp grasses on the pathways of Vrindavan, when they pierce Krishna's foot, oh, Krishna's tender foot will be hurt. Krishna's feet are so soft that they can't even bear the touch of the soft bodies of gopis. What to speak of bearing the touch of thorns and pebbles? So the gopis are feeling very anxious. Similarly, when Lord Ramachandra went to Dandakaranya, then all the Vrajavasis were thinking, oh, Lord Ram is walking on the streets or on the pathways of Dandakaranya, in the forest of Dandakaranya. What will happen to his tender feet? Ram's feet are so soft that they can't even bear the touch of Mother Sita's hands. When Mother Sita, with her delicate lotus-like fingertips, touches Lord Ram's feet will become reddish. They can't even bear the touch. Right? So they are so soft. And those feet are walking in the streets of Dandakaranya. Just the mere thought of Ram walking in the forest of Dandakaranya makes Ayodhyavasis faint. They become unconscious. Oh, how can my Ram walk like this? So different devotees have different emotions. And yesterday we have seen Jambavan, such a great warrior. He is fighting with Krishna. He is bringing big boulders and throwing on Krishna's shoulders, and then the boulders are breaking on Krishna's shoulders. Just imagine, can you imagine a big boulder like this falling on Krishna's hand or Krishna's head? And Jambavan is relishing it. Not for a moment. 28 days he is relishing. At least Bhishma only saw Krishna perspiring and having some wounds on his body. But Jambavan is creating wounds on Krishna's body. He is fighting with Krishna. With boulders and trees and weapons and fists. He is beating Krishna like this. This is the speciality of Krishna Leela. Krishna is called Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Akhila Rasamrita Murti means he is the reservoir of all rasas. Any devotee can connect with Krishna in any mood. Some connect with Krishna as a loving mother, as a loving father, as a loving friend, as a lover, as a servant, as an enemy. Krishna can satisfy all moods. So Bhishma is having this mood. Now Bhishma is continuing to meditate. Let's recite the fourth shloka in Bhishma Stuti. Sapadi sakhi vacho nishamyam madhye. We will try to recite one line at a time. Till yesterday we were reciting two lines. Some devotees are finding it difficult. It's too long. So one line at a time. Sapadi sakhi vacho nishamyam madhye. Nija parayor balayor ratham niveshya. निज परयोर बलयोर रथम निवेश्य स्थितवती परसैनिकायुरक्ष्ण स्थितवती परसैनिकायुरक्ष्ण हृतवती पार्थ सखेरतेर्ममस्तु हृतवती पार्थ सखेरतेर्ममस्तु Sapadi sakhivacho nishamya madhye. So Krishna's Sakha. Who is Krishna's Sakha? Arjuna. Sapadi sakhivacho, this Sakha of Krishna, this friend of Krishna, requested Krishna, my dear Lord, can you please take my chariot between the two armies? Sthitavati nija parayor balayor ratham niveshya. He wanted to assess the strengths of Nija and Para. Nija means one's own army. Para means the opposite army, the enemy's army. So he wanted to assess the strengths and understand who all have assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to fight. And to especially the opposite army who came to support Duryodhan, evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. As Arjuna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Senayor bhayor madhye ratham sthapayamechyuta yavadeta niriksheham yodhu kama navasthitan. You remember in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayame Achyuta. Oh Achyuta, please establish or please position my chariot between both the armies so that I can examine who all have assembled on this battlefield. So Bhishma Dev is recollecting that moment. Very beautiful. He says, Sapadi sakhi vacho nishamyam madhye nijaparayor balayor ratham niveshya. Then Sthitavati. So Krishna positioned the chariot between the two armies. Then Parasainika Ayur. So just by positioning the chariot between the two armies and glancing on the warriors on the opposite side, you know what Krishna did? Parasainika Ayur. Ayu means lifespan. The Ayush, lifespan. He has diminished the lifespan of those who have supported Duryodhan. Parasainika Ayur. Akshna, just by his glances. Hritavati means he has done Haran. Hari, we have discussed the meaning of Hari someday. Hari is one who does Haran, one who steals everything. Krishna steals butter in Vrindavan. Krishna steals hearts of the gopis in Vrindavan. Krishna steals the hearts of those who are hearing his butter stealing pastimes. When we are hearing Krishna stealing pastimes, Krishna is stealing our hearts also. And Krishna also steals our sinful reactions. Krishna steals our difficulties. And if a living entity is sinful or takes the side of sinful people, Krishna can steal their lifespan also. Hritavati. He can steal the lifespans of those who have taken the side of Duryodhan. Hritavati. Sthitavati. He has positioned the chariot between the two armies. Parasainika Ayur Akshna Hritavati. He has stolen the Ayu. He has stolen the lifespan of the opposite soldiers just by glancing at them. Hritavati. That Partha Sake Ratir Mamastu. Let me have that devotion for that Partha Sakha. Let me have Rati for Krishna. Let me be attracted to that Krishna. So when Bhishma was about to depart from this world, he was about to give up this body and go to the spiritual world, he is meditating on that particular form of Krishna on the battlefield. Now there are so many forms. Some devotees like to meditate on Krishna's Vrindavan form. Some devotees want to meditate him in the form of Dwarakadhish or Mathuradhish or Rama or Varaha or Narasimha or Vasudeva or Balaji, Venkateswara. So the Lord has so many forms. But of all the forms, what captivated Bhishma's heart the most? The form as Partha Sarathi. His form as the chariot driver of Arjuna is very dear to Bhishma Dev. So different devotees can have different favorite forms of the Lord. Partha Sarathi. Some people believe that if we keep this form of Krishna, Partha Sarathi form of Krishna in the home, we'll have fights. Some people have this sentiment. Have you heard such opinions of people? Right? If you keep Krishna Arjun photo, Krishna driving the chariot of Arjun photo in the home, you will have so many difficulties and conflicts and fightings in the home. You remove the photo, will you not have any conflicts in the home? Just a simple thing. You never had any quarrel with your family members or relatives at home when you did not keep that photo or when you have removed that photo? So people have different sentiments. But here is Bhishma Dev meditating on that photo only. That scene only, that battlefield. Most of his prayers is meditating on the Partha Sakha form of Krishna. Partha Sarathi form of Krishna. Right? So that Partha Sarathi, what he has done? He has done Haran. He has completely stolen the lifespans of the opposite soldiers. As I don't know whether we discussed that, there is one Chaurashtakam. Chaurashtakam is 8 verses glorifying Krishna's stealing activities. Glorifying him as the greatest thief. Chauragraganyam purusham namami. Vraje prasiddham navanita chauram gopangananam chadukula chauram Aneka janmarjita papa chauram chauragraganyam purusham namami. Shri Radhikaya hridayasya chauram navambudhasyamalakanti chauram padashritanam cha samasta chauram chauragraganyam purusham namami. Padashritanam cha samasta chauram. If you have taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, he will steal everything from you. Just think before you take shelter of Krishna. Right? If you want everything that you have to be stolen by Krishna, then you come to Krishna. Otherwise, don't come to Krishna. Don't look at Krishna. He's a great thief. I'm not saying this. Rupa Goswami says this. If you go to the banks of Keshi Ghat and look at Krishna playing his flute, then he will steal away all your material desires. So the first shloka of Bhishma Suti we have discussed. Itimati rupakalpita vitrishna. Oh Krishna, let me give up all my material desires and meditate upon you only. But it's other way around also. If you meditate on Krishna, he will take away all your material desires. When you see Krishna, when you become attracted to Krishna's pastimes, you will give up all your attraction towards any material pleasures and material enjoyment. That is the effect of Krishna. So, in the Chaurashtakam, it's mentioned that if you have taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, he will take away everything. Padashritanam cha samasta chauram chauragraganyam purusham namami. Padashritanam cha samasta chauram. And also he steals away aneka janmarjita papa chauram. He steals those sinful reactions that we have been accumulating since lifetimes. He will steal them away. This you like Krishna to steal, right? You want to keep all your sinful reactions with you only, or you want Krishna to steal them? You want Krishna to steal them, right? But Padashritanam cha samasta chauram, he will steal away your money also. Not only your sinful reactions. He will steal away your pious reactions also. Your piety he will steal, your impiety also he will steal. Your papa, your punya, both will be cleansed when you take shelter of Krishna. Right? And here is Krishna who is stealing the ayu, lifespans of the soldiers who are supporting Duryodhan. And even when Krishna steals the lifespans, he is only liberating them. And Krishna does not want to kill anybody. Natural death people will have, because of some disease people may die, or when somebody kills or during some fighting or war people may die. But ultimately, punishing a person either through death punishment or some other punishment is not the intention of Krishna. Krishna just wants to bring this soul, conditioned soul, to the eternal shelter of his lotus feet, so that he will be reinstated in his original, pure, original Krishna consciousness, where he actually becomes spiritually blissful. Material happiness is not happiness. Only spiritual happiness in the service of Krishna will keep us completely satisfied. So Krishna is our divine well-wisher, eternal well-wisher. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhurdam sarvabhutanam. Because he is our dear well-wisher, he naturally wishes our welfare. Therefore, even if he steals away everything that we have, even if he steals our lifespan also, ultimately Krishna is benefiting us. Right? When Duryodhan was lying in a pool of blood, with his thigh broken by Bhima's gada, Krishna was not happy to see that scene. So Krishna only inspired Bhima. Bhima, do you remember? You have taken a vow that you will break the thigh of Duryodhan. Yes, I have taken a vow. What was the context? This Duryodhan, shameless Duryodhan, exposed his thigh and said, Draupadi, come and sit here. Is that manners, good manners? At that time, Bhima became so angry and he has taken a vow. I will break that thigh. You have invited Draupadi to come and sit on your throne. She is the chaste wife of another man. And you are inviting like that? What kind of manners is? I will break that thigh. He said this. So, Krishna reminded Bhima, this is your vow, just break. And some people blame Krishna. Krishna did adharma. Why did Krishna instigate Bhima to break the thigh of Duryodhan like this. This is adharma yuddha. When Duryodhan invited Draupadi to come and sit on his thigh, is that adharma? Is that dharma? When somebody has done adharma like this, if you kill him by adharma, is that adharma or dharma? So when you have a thorn in your foot, you take another thorn and then pierce that foot to take away that thorn. That's required. So Krishna has to do the needful. To establish dharma, sometimes you may have to take to adharma also, and ultimately whatever Krishna says is dharma. Dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. But when Duryodhan is lying in a pool of blood with his thigh broken by Bhima's gada, Krishna felt very bad. Krishna was not at all comfortable. Krishna felt compassionate. Oh my God, I have given him so many chances. I have given him unlimited chances to rectify his rebellious mentality and take shelter of me and compromise with Pandavas. Be friendly with the Pandavas. I personally went as a messenger begging Duryodhan, oh Duryodhan, can you please give half of your kingdom to Pandavas? That is their kingdom. They have earned Indraprastha kingdom. You should give it to them. But Duryodhan is so arrogant, so adamant. And here is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all the planetary systems in this universe. In fact, he is the proprietor of Ananta Koti Brahmandas, unlimited universes. And that proprietor of unlimited universes is begging for half kingdom in this one little universe which is as big as a mustard seed. And Duryodhana is saying, get lost. Can you imagine? If you are a multimillionaire and you go to a small landlord and beg for 10 rupees and if he says, get lost, how will you feel? You will say, who is he to tell me get lost? I can maintain him for the next 10 lifetimes. Just because he has some 1,000 rupees in his bank, he is feeling so big. He'll feel like that. But Krishna is the proprietor of millions of universes. In his form as Mahavishnu, when the Lord breathes out, Yasyai kanishvasita kala matavalambhya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanathah. Jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanathah. So there are millions of universes that come out of Mahavishnu's body when he breathes out. When he breathes in, all the millions of universes go back into his body. Within one exhaling period, he will create millions of universes, he will destroy millions of universes. And that Lord is coming to Duryodhana and saying, can you please give half kingdom to Pandavas? Just imagine the gravity of this situation. And Duryodhana is rejecting this proposal. And is there anything wrong in Krishna orchestrating Kurukshetra war in such a way that Duryodhana is defeated? Why we have to be so caught up in this finer nuances of different moments in Mahabharata and say that Krishna is adharmic? He inspired Arjuna to put an arrow on Karna when he is struggling with his chariot wheel. And he is inspiring Bhima to break the thigh of Duryodhana, although it is against dharma, etc., etc. Whatever he says is dharma. Whatever he does is dharma. But Krishna was not happy. Ultimately, when somebody takes the side of adharma, which is against Krishna's will, Krishna is not happy. Krishna is feeling very empathetic and sympathetic towards Duryodhana, but Krishna had to do the needful to defeat him in this way, just to teach him a lesson, and through him teach a lesson to all of us. Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana. And Lord Ram has given so many chances. Ram's devotee Vibhishan told Ravana, please respectfully return Mother Sita to Lord Ramachandra and beg forgiveness. He will protect us. Take his shelter. But Ravana did not agree. And Vibhishan left him. And later Ram had sent messengers. Even Hanuman told Ravana, he said, you just respectfully return Sita Devi to Lord Ram, he will forgive you, he will protect you. But Ravana did not agree. And Ram personally asked also Ravana, but Ravana did not agree. So Ram was obliged to kill Ravana because of his obstinacy, because of his adamant nature, because of his arrogance and pride and lust. And after Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, Vibhishan said, "O Ram, I will not conduct the funeral rites, the last rites of my brother Ravana, because he is a great offender." You know what Lord Ramachandra said? "Vibhishan, you should never say like that. Whatever mistakes or offenses or sins that Ravana has done, he has done through the body. Now the body is gone. Body died. But you have to perform last rites to that body, because performing last rites is honoring the soul. Soul is pure. Therefore, you should perform your last rites, Ravana's last rites. You should not abandon your duty." So, even though when Vibhishan was disowning Ravana, Ram was not disowning Ravana. The Lord disapproves the misdeeds of demoniac people, but He never disowns them. He is always kind and affectionate towards them. That is the Lord's mercy. Even when the Lord is stealing the lifespans of all the soldiers who are supporting Duryodhan, the Lord is always kind and affectionate towards them. The Lord is giving them liberation. You understand? Even when the Lord punishes somebody or kills somebody or politically manipulates the situation in such a way that there is some favor on His devotees and then common people are cheated, ultimately the Lord is a well-wisher for every single living entity. After all, everybody is a servant of Krishna, an Amsha of Krishna. Right? So when a mother punishes a child or scolds a child, it is for the child's welfare. Similarly, when the Lord orchestrates situations in such a way that demons are defeated or even killed, the Lord is acting for their welfare only. If I allow him to live, he will commit more and more sinful activities and he will ruin his soul. He will be degraded. Let me kill him now so that he will stop these sinful activities. So punishment is required for rectification. The Lord punishes people for their rectification, and that rectification is not rejection. There is a difference between rejection and rectification. So, when the Lord punishes people, that is for the rectification. The Lord is not rejecting them. The Lord will never reject anybody. He loves everybody, and His love is our hope. So, you may read this little shloka and you may get little surprised. Parasainika ayur hratavati. He is stealing. He is doing haran. He is stealing away all the lifespans of all soldiers. My God, what is this? But he is actually giving them liberation, ultimately. So next shloka, our Bhishma says, Vyavahita pritana mukham niriksha Vyavahita pritana mukham niriksha Svajanavadhad vimukhasya dosha buddhya Svajanavadhad vimukhasya dosha buddhya Kumati maharadatma vidyayas Kumati maharadatma vidyayas Charanarati paramasya tasya mestu Charanarati paramasya tasya mestu In the previous shloka, previous prayer, Bhishma Dev said, Arjuna requested Krishna to take the chariot between both the armies so that he can examine the warriors there. And Krishna very dutifully, very obediently, submissively took the chariot and placed it, positioned it between both the armies. Then Arjuna started seeing all these soldiers, and Krishna also started seeing all these soldiers. But when Arjuna saw these warriors, he became very emotional and confused and deranged. But when Krishna saw these warriors, he has taken away their lives. Krishna reveals it in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kalosmi loka kshayat pravruddho. I am Kala. I have taken all away. I have taken the lifespans of all the people. Actually, he displayed this Kala Rupa that has hundreds and thousands of heads, and fire is emanating from the mouths of this Kala Rupa, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shakuni, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, all these people are entering the fire coming from the mouths of Kala Rupa. And Arjuna has seen it. Oh my God. All these warriors are entering the mouths of this Kala Rupa, and they're being crushed between his teeth, ground between the teeth. Arjuna got scared. That means Krishna has already demonstrated the future outcomes of the battle of Kurukshetra before even the battle started. Right? Aneka bahudara vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara vishwarupa. So this Vishwarupa had aneka bahu, udara, vaktra, netra, so many eyes and heads and hands and legs and bellies. He's all pervading. 3D or 4D or 10D or 1000D, we don't know. Whichever direction he sees, he only sees Vishwarupa. And after that he displayed Kala Rupa. Vishwarupa, or the universal form, displayed all the things in the entire universe at one place to Arjuna. Kala Rupa displayed all the effects of time, all the happenings in the past, present and future at one place to Arjuna. Arjuna was able to see that Bhishma is going to die. Battle did not even start, but he saw that Bhishma is going to die. And Karna is going to die. Or Jayadratha is going to die. Duryodhana is going to die. Everything is already pre-decided. The Lord has already established it. Right? So the Lord has orchestrated. So Krishna is glancing on all these warriors who are opposing the Pandavas and diminishing their lifespans, destroying their lives. But Arjuna became confused, he became very emotional. And that's what is being discussed here in this shloka. Vyavahita pritana mukham niriksha. Mukham niriksha. When Arjuna saw the faces of all his relatives and friends and family members and cousins and brothers and grandfathers and teachers, etc., on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he became very emotional. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhya. Svajana, these are my svajana. Drishtve mam svajanam Krishnaha yuyutsam samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parihushyati. You know that first chapter, Arjuna expressed his compassion. Drishtve mam svajanam Krishna. Krishna, when I see my own svajana, my own relatives, mukham cha parihushyati, my mouth is drying up. Yuyutsam samupasthitam, seeing them in a fighting spirit, ready to fight with his own family members. My God, my mouth is drying up and I'm unable to function properly. I'm becoming dysfunctional. My Gandiva is slipping from my bow. Gandivam samsrate hastat tvakchaiva paridahyate. My skin is burning. So in this way, Arjuna went through extreme emotions. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya means he became disinclined to kill his own relatives. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhya, and that is dosha buddhi. Dosha means fault, buddhi means intelligence. So Arjuna's disinclination to fight with his own relatives is his dosha buddhi, is his faulty intelligence. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhya. Now you may think, how can this be dosha buddhi? When Arjuna is thinking of not killing his relatives, Bhishma is saying that it is dosha buddhi, it's faulty intelligence. Should you kill your relatives or not? So when I teach kids Bhagavad Gita, I ask them this question. When you have a fighting with your sibling, with your brother or sister, some quarrel, some argument, if somebody gives you the photograph of your brother and asks you, tear into small pieces, will you be inclined to do it No, I will not. The kids say, I won't. Why? You just had a quarrel with him. Why can't you tear this photo? After all, he's my brother. Right? That is the condition. If you can't tear the photo of your friend or your brother or your sister or your relative, how can Arjuna shoot arrows on them? It's very difficult. You see Arjuna's emotions. But Bhishma is saying that is dosha buddhi. Because Arjuna is acting as a kshatriya. A kshatriya prince. A kshatriya prince should not have this partialities of these are my swajana, these are our other people. These are my people, these are outsiders. So my people means I will not kill. If someone else is there, I can kill. Arjuna fought so many battles. Arjuna already fought so many battles so far before Kurukshetra battle, and he killed so many people because he never thought that they are his swajana. These are my own people, how can I kill? He never thought like that. But now Bhishma is standing there, Drona is standing there, many other relatives and friends and family members are standing there. Therefore he felt very emotional. If a mistake is done by your own family member also, you should be ready to fight with them and kill them. That's what Krishna is teaching Arjuna. Just because the wrongdoer or the sinner is your relative, is your family member, will you forgive that person? No, that's not proper. That's what Krishna is teaching dharma. Some people misunderstand. Arjuna is non-violent. Arjuna never wanted to kill his relatives. Arjuna is very detached from the kingdom and material enjoyment. So Arjuna is so great. But Krishna poisoned his mind. Krishna polluted his brain. Krishna instigated him to fight. Krishna made him violent. No. Krishna is seeing on a spiritual plane. And Arjuna at that moment was seeing on a material plane. Materially, these people are my relatives. I have a blood relationship with them. I have a skin relation with them. Therefore, I will not fight. That's his logic. But for Krishna, there is a different logic. That is transcendental logic. This soul, who is entrapped in this material body, has committed so many sinful activities through this body. If I don't kill this body, then he will commit more sinful activities through this body. Then he will be rotting in the material existence and hellish existence. Therefore, to terminate his sinful reactions, further sinful activities, I have to terminate his body. I have to kill him now. And Arjuna, you are the bona fide kshatriya, I have to kill him. So, to administer justice, you have to keep aside your emotions. If you are too emotional, if you are too sentimental, you can't implement justice. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, very important point. 2nd chapter, 14th shloka. What is that? Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agamapayino nityastam stitikshasva bharata. Krishna said, you tolerate happiness and distress. You tolerate heat and cold. Because these dualities come and go. Agama apayino anityaha. They are not permanent. Therefore tolerate. If Arjuna says, yes, I will tolerate. I will tolerate all the offenses done by Duryodhana and party. I will tolerate all their aggressions. Even if they have tried to kill us in 100 different ways, even if they have usurped our kingdom, even if they have cheated us in gambling match, even if they have attempted to burn us alive in this house made of lac, still I will tolerate all their offenses. You know what Krishna said? I told you to tolerate happiness and distress. I told you to tolerate dualities. I never told you to tolerate injustice. You should tolerate happiness and distress in life. You should tolerate the inevitable appearance of honor and dishonor and happiness and distress in life, but you should never tolerate injustice or adharma, especially when you have the capacity and the responsibility to counteract that adharma. If it is your responsibility as a king or a kshatriya prince to counteract adharma, how can you say, I will tolerate it in the name of being non-violent? You are a kshatriya. This non-violence is not your philosophy. If it is required to be violent, to establish dharma, you should be violent. That's what Krishna is saying. So that is like on a practical plane. But on a very high spiritual, transcendental plane also, what Krishna said is correct. Arjuna, you are just getting too emotional seeing your relatives and blood relations. But these people are souls. Body has no endurance. Body has today one day and soul is eternal. Even if you are killing them, you are not killing their souls, because soul cannot be killed. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So soul has no death and body has no endurance. Kill, no problem. So just by being attached to this material body, how can you ignore your duty as a Kshatriya? And that is Kshatriya duty, but ultimately Arjuna is a devotee, and Arjuna has to perform his devotional service by assisting Krishna in establishing dharma, therefore he has to fight. Therefore Arjuna's fight is also devotional service, as we discussed yesterday. We were discussing, right? You are sleeping, you are eating, you are working, you are fighting, everything can be Krishna's service. Right? So, Svajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhya. Svajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhya. Bhishma is able to understand all this. Arjuna got confused before the battle of Kurukshetra, and Bhishma knows this. Arjuna is confused, Bhishma is never confused. Bhishma is performing his duty as a Kshatriya even while sitting on the side of adharma. How much enthusiastic Arjuna is supposed to be while standing on the side of dharma to fight in the battle. But Arjuna is disinclined. Who is a more mature devotee? Bhishma is definitely a more mature warrior, more mature devotee also. He could clearly understand that Arjuna's disinclination to fight is faulty intelligence. Swajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhi. It's a dosha buddhi. Then he says, Kumati maharadatma vidyaya. This is Kumati. Arjuna became Kumati, means he had a bad intelligence. Kumati Maharad. So Krishna had to remove that bad intelligence, bad logic, material logic, and give him some intelligence in the form of Atma Vidya, the right intelligence. Arjuna is using false logic, emotional logic, or he's in bodily conception. So Krishna had to give him Atma Vidya. Please understand this divine science of Bhagavad Gita, Atma Vidya. So Arjuna has been enlightened by Krishna with Atma Vidya. Then Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu. Let me have Charanarati. Let me have attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord. Paramasya means should have complete attraction. Paramasya means supreme attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord. Who has enlightened Arjuna and taught him the sense of duty. Before hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna say? Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. Before hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, Dharma sammudha chetaha. I am confused in performing my duty. But after hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna say? Nashto moha smritir labdha tat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, Nashto moha, all my illusion is gone. But before hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna say? Karpanya dosha, dharma sammudha chetaha. I am confused in performing my duty. Now, later, Arjuna said, I have full clarity in performing my duty. So, Bhagavad Gita is that scripture that takes us on a journey from confusion to clarity. Right? Arjuna was confused before hearing Gita. He got complete clarity about what his duty is after hearing Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to eradicate your confusions, if you want clarity of thought, read Bhagavad Gita. Bhishma is also recommending that. Atma Vidya. So spiritual knowledge is given. Any announcement, Dhruv? You need to announce? Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu. Every day we request the same thing. I think many times we have requested. This is the 6th day. And, why to bother the neighbors? Yesterday also this happened. An unnecessary CID comes, police comes. Now this is again an issue. There are 2 cars parked in the wrong area, blocking somebody's home. He cannot get out. Here is there. H12181, it's Hyundai, and the other one is W90179. W90179 and H12181. Please, whoever it is, please remove, otherwise he will have to call the police to tow it away.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, let's go to the next prayer of Bhishma. Swanigamamapahaya mat pratignam Swanigamamapahaya mat pratignam Ritamadhikartumavapluto rathastha Dhృతరథ చరణోభ్యయాచలద్గుర్ హరిరివహంతుమిభం గతోత్తరీయా So Bhishma till now spoke about the beginning of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where Arjuna was confused and Krishna enlightened him with Bhagavad Gita. After being enlightened by Krishna, Arjuna prepared himself to fight. Right? Then, during the fight, something interesting has happened. Once Duryodhan went to Bhishma and said, Bhishma, you are such a celebrated warrior. You have so many military certificates. I think you are not fighting properly. You are being too liberal and lenient towards the Pandavas. You are showing some partiality. You are showing some favoritism towards the Pandavas. Otherwise, how can these Pandavas, who are very insignificant in comparison to your experience, your strength, survive till now in the battlefield, although so many days have passed? Looks like you are not fighting up to with your full potential. Then Bhishma got hurt. You are saying that I am not loyal, I don't have the integrity, I am taking your side and I am not fighting properly. Is that what you are saying? Okay, I will please you now. Tomorrow, with these 5 arrows, 5 designated arrows, I am going to kill all the 5 Pandavas. Tomorrow is the end of the battle. Just take my word. And Bhishma does some pratigna. Then there is no turning back. Bhishma took a vow of celibacy. Okay, I will never marry. So he never married throughout his life. Generation after generation, he is only serving the throne of Hastinapur. He never sat on the throne of Hastinapur, although he is the most eligible person to sit on the Hastinapur, considering his birth, considering his maturity, considering his power also. But he is only servant of Hastinapur throne. So Bhishma took a vow that with these 5 arrows, I am going to kill the 5 Pandavas tomorrow. Then Duryodhan got excited. My God, tomorrow battle is going to end. I'll go and sit on the throne of Hastinapur. Amazing. He was thinking like that, but Duryodhan got some thought. What was that thought? Let me keep these 5 arrows safely with me. That was the mistake he has done. If he had left that 5 arrows with Bhishma, probably the pastime would have taken another turn. But he said, okay, Bhishma, these 5 arrows are my life and soul. I must preserve these 5 arrows so carefully now. Please give me these arrows. Tomorrow morning, when you are about to go to the battlefield, I will give these arrows, 5 arrows. With these 5 arrows, you can kill the Pandavas. So, yes, fine. These 5 arrows are designated to kill the Pandavas. Keep them safely with you. So Bhishma said this, and Duryodhan safely kept in his camp. Krishna is the super soul. He knows what's happening in the heart of every single living entity, whether they are devotees or demons, whether they are in the side of dharma or adharma. Krishna completely understands the plans of all his devotees. See the simple, humble or very divine rasa that's happening, that's being demonstrated in the relationship between Krishna and Bhishma here. So Bhishma took a vow to kill the Pandavas who are the pure devotees of Krishna, and Krishna siding them. Because Bhishma is in Virya Rasa, he did not even think of taking this vow. When you are giving a promise, when you are taking a pratigna, you will think twice, right? But Bhishma did not think twice. Krishna is on their side. How can I even kill them? But Bhishma has just taken a vow. He has a taste for confrontation even with Krishna. Even if Krishna sides these Pandavas, I will kill them tomorrow to please Duryodhana. Right? So this confuses the minds of common people, but enlivens the minds of devotees with a deeper understanding of rasa. So we cannot have very stereotyped, conventional opinions about how rasa can be exchanged between the Lord and his devotee. Because Bhishma is in Virya Rasa, he is in the mode of the chivalry, he can take such a vow even against Krishna also. So Duryodhana very nicely preserved these arrows with him. Then Krishna is the super soul, he understood the whole situation. Then Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, I have a service for you. That day war ended. The next day only war will begin. So this is night time. So Krishna called Arjuna and said, Arjuna, can you please go to Duryodhana? It is the nature of Kshatriyas to have friendly exchanges even with enemies also, sometimes. When Bhima, Arjuna and Krishna went to Jarasandha, Krishna requested Bhima to ask Jarasandha for a duel fight. You know that story, right? Then Jarasandha started fighting with Bhima for 28 days. During the day they will fight, but during the night they will sit together and have a party. Right? That's how Kshatriyas are. They have that sportive spirit. So similarly, now that war is not happening, it's night time. Arjuna, you go to Duryodhana. Duryodhana will definitely invite you, welcome you, have a party with you. You can have just some night food and drink happily. So you can go, but okay, I will not reveal this plan. So Arjuna went to Duryodhana, and Duryodhana invited Arjuna. Arjuna, tell me, what do you want? You want me to stop this war? Why did you come to my camp today? You are my honorable guest. Tell me, whatever you want, I will do for you. I can even stop the war also for you. Now you may become surprised. Why this Duryodhana is saying like this? If he is inclined to stop the war when Arjuna came, why he was not inclined to stop the war when Krishna came for Sandhi? So this is the nature of demoniac people. They are inconsistent in their moods. And also by Krishna's influence, also Duryodhana can offer that to Arjuna. So Duryodhana said, Arjuna, whatever you want, I will do. Then Arjuna said, you don't have to stop the war. All I want is those 5 arrows that Bhishma has given you. Can you please give those arrows to me? Then Duryodhana has already given a promise to Arjuna. He cannot take back this promise. So he had to give. He was obliged to offer those 5 arrows. Then the next day morning, Bhishma came to Duryodhana and asked, where are the 5 arrows? Today is the last day of Pandavas on this earth planet. I am going to kill them. Give me the 5 arrows. Duryodhana said, I am sorry, I don't have the 5 arrows. Oh, how can you not have those 5 arrows? Then Bhishma understood it is Krishna's master plan to send Arjuna and take away the 5 arrows. Then Bhishma took another vow. Fine. Krishna had sent Arjuna to protect the Pandavas. Krishna enabled Arjuna to take away the 5 arrows. Fine, no problem. Unless Krishna picks up a weapon and tries to protect Arjuna, nobody in the universe can save Arjuna from me today. Today I am going to kill Arjuna. Other Pandavas, let's see later. But today I am going to kill Arjuna for sure. The only possibility of Arjuna's survival is when Krishna picks up a weapon and then charges against me. Because Krishna has already taken a vow not to pick up a weapon before the Kurukshetra battle. So Krishna had to break his promise. Unless Krishna breaks his promise, nobody can save Arjuna from me. I am going to kill Arjuna. So Bhishma has taken another vow. So that day, Bhishma fought with so much of valor, with so much intensity, with so much anger. He is using all his astras and shastras, and Arjuna is just unable to do anything. He could not confront with Bhishma. Bhishma is showing his real power. So at one point, Arjuna was on the verge of death. Bhishma is about to kill Arjuna. even if Krishna delays for a one moment also, Arjuna is gone. Arjuna would have been killed. So at that moment, Krishna became so furious. He got down from his chariot. He picked up a chariot wheel, which is lying there on the battlefield. On the battlefield, broken chariots and broken limbs of people are commonly lying. He just picked up a chariot wheel and started charging against Bhishma to kill him. Yeah, this is the picture. So, here also. So there is a picture here. So therefore Krishna is called Rathanga Pani. Ratha means chariot. Rathanga means a limb of chariot which is wheel here. Rathanga Pani means one who holds a chariot wheel in his hand. Rathanga Pani. So that scene is being described by Bhishma in this shloka now. Swanigamam apahaya mat pratignam. Swanigama means Krishna's own promise, Krishna's own vow. Apahaya. Krishna was inclined to give up his vow, give up his promise of not picking up a weapon on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He is ready to give up his vow. For what? Mat pratignam. To protect my pratigna, Krishna compromised on his pratigna. That is the love and affection that Krishna has for his devotees. Krishna is ready to give up his vow, his promise, his pratigna. But Bhishma's pratigna should never be compromised. When will Bhishma stop this intensity in this war? Only when I pick up a weapon. So, Krishna, by picking up this chariot wheel and charging against Bhishma, he exhibited his love and affection towards his two devotees. One devotee is definitely Arjuna. Just to protect Arjuna's life, Krishna picked up this chariot wheel and charged against Bhishma. But another devotee is Bhishma himself. In fact, primarily Bhishma himself. Bhishma. Because Bhishma has taken a vow and Bhishma will never compromise on his vow. So, to protect Bhishma's vow, to give more importance to Bhishma's word than his own words, Krishna picked up this chariot wheel to satisfy him. And Bhishma has this mood of Veera, a warrior. He has Virya Rasa. So Krishna reciprocated with Bhishma in that way. Right? So Bhishma, being a warrior, can challenge even Krishna. And the challenging spirit in Bhishma also is an expression of his devotion. And that gives so much pleasure to Krishna. Right? So Krishna saved both the devotees. Krishna exhibited his love and affection towards both his devotees, while compromise on his vow in one sense. And Arjuna came running and caught Krishna's foot and said, Krishna, please, you have taken a vow not to pick up any weapon. Please don't do it. He stopped him. So, but in one sense, Krishna did not break his vow also. Krishna definitely gave more importance to Bhishma's pratigna, but Krishna did not compromise on his pratigna also. Because chariot wheel is not considered a weapon only. Krishna took a vow not to pick up a weapon. So Krishna protected his vow. He never picked up a weapon. So when some warrior is going to the battle, he will take some arrows and bows and some swords and some shields and some lances, etc. But will he pick up some chariot wheels also with him? No, right? So chariot wheel is not a weapon. So when Krishna picked up a chariot wheel, it's not that he is picking up a weapon and compromising on his vow. But in one sense, he is picking up something to use it as a weapon to satisfy Bhima and protect his vow. So in that sense, Bhishma's vow is protected and Krishna's vow is also protected. Arjuna's life is also protected. There are ways of... Krishna is very expert. He can address multiple tricky situations with just one simple solution. Right? So see this. Ritam adhikartum avapluto rathastaha. Although Krishna was sitting in the ratha, he got down from his chariot. He picked up this chariot wheel. Dhrita ratha charano. He has picked up this chariot wheel and then with great force he started charging against Bhishma. Hari rivahantumibham gatotariya. Harir. Here Hari means a lion. Ibham means an elephant. Just like in the forest, a lion charges against an elephant. In this battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna started charging against Bhishma. And when he's doing it with great force, his Uttaraya is falling down. So this Uttaraya is like on Krishna, but when Krishna is forcefully just charging against Bhishma, he just fell down. Ibham gatottariya. So Bhishma is meditating on that moment. See, he's about to depart from this world. He's about to die in few moments. But what's going on in their mind? In his mind. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. So at the time of death, whatever one meditates upon, one will attain that state. So Bhishma is meditating on Parthasarathi form of Krishna and the battlefield scene. So what did Bhishma attain? He definitely attained Krishna, but not Krishna as a Gopal in Vrindavan, not Krishna as a prince in Dwaraka or Mathura, but as Krishna as a chariot driver of Arjuna. So there is a special planet in the spiritual world called Parthasarathi planet, and Bhishma attained that Parthasarathi planet in the spiritual world. There are so many Vaikuntha Lokas, there are so many spiritual planets. There, Bhishma is constantly having this Virya Rasa exchanges with Krishna, fighting, confrontation, right? Lord also wants fighting spirit. Therefore, these four Kumaras, Brahma's force and Sanaka, Sanandana, others, so they went and cursed Jaya and Vijaya, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, and this Jaya and Vijay appeared in 3 lifetimes to fight with the Lord and offer him fighting pleasure. Yesterday, as we discussed, even to give fighting pleasure to Krishna, only devotees are required. Only devotees can offer even fighting pleasure to Krishna. So in the first life, Jaya and Vijay appeared as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. In the second life, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Third life, Shishupal and Dantavakra. So 3 lives. And of course, other references say that they appeared as Jagai and Madhai also in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. So in this way, even to offer fighting pleasure to the Lord, a devotee is required, and Bhishma is constantly serving Krishna in that Virya Rasa, in the mood of a fighter, a warrior. So last shloka for today's discussion. What's the time now? We have 10 minutes. I'll complete this last shloka. So after I do this shloka, 4 more shlokas are there. We'll do tomorrow. That's a concluding of Bhishma Stuti. Next. Sita vishikhato vishirnadamsha Kshataja paripluta atatayino me Prasabhamabhisasara madvadhartham Sabhavatu me Bhagavan gatir mukunda Sita vishikahato visirna damshaha. So Krishna's body is wounded by the sharp arrows of Bhishma. Right? When a warrior is fighting with an enemy on the battlefield, the arrows will not be shot only at enemy. Many times arrows are shot at the chariot flag, chariot wheel, the quiver, and chariot driver also. And some arrows were coming on Krishna also, and Krishna's transcendental body is being wounded by the sharp arrows of Bhishma. That's what he's saying. Kshataja paripluta atatayiname. Kshataja means he's wounded. He had multiple places on his body, and those wounds are giving ecstasy to Bhishma because he's in Virya Rasa. Prasabham abhisasara madvadhartham. And now in this scene, madvadhartham, just for the purpose of killing me. Mad means me, Bhishma is saying. Vadhartham means for the purpose of killing me, the Lord is coming with great force, leaving the chariot. Leaving his position as a chariot driver, he picked up this wheel and he started running towards me. Sabhavatu me Bhagavan gatir mukunda. Let that Bhagavan, Mukunda, be my gati. Gati means my goal, my refuge. Let him be my shelter, only shelter. So Mukunda means one who gives liberation to people. And that Mukunda can give liberation in any way, to anybody. Samsararnava karna dharaka hare Sri Krishna tubhyam nama Srinarayana Pundarika Nayana Sri Rama Sitapate Govinda Chuta Nanda Nanda Namukunda Nanda Damodara Vishnu Raghava Vasudeva Hare Devendra Chodabade Samsararnava Karnadharaka Hare Sri Krishna Tubhyam Nama. In various forms, as Narayana, Mukunda, Madhava, Madhusudana, Krishna, Murari, the Lord, you know what he does? Samsararnava Karnadharaka Hare. He acts as a captain of the ship that takes us across this material ocean. Samsararnava Karnadharaka Hare Sri Krishna Tubhyam Nama. So Mukunda means one who gives liberation, and the Lord gives liberation by acting as a boatman to take us across this material ocean. All of us are rotting in this material ocean, and the Lord protects us from this material ocean. Therefore, he is called Mukunda, the giver of liberation. Now, there is a beautiful shloka in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Krichro mahan iha bhavarnavamaplavesham shadvargana krama sukhe natitiri shanti tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniya manghrim krutvodupam vyasanamuttara dustararanam. This material ocean is so fierce, so deep and shoreless, and not just that, it is filled with sharks. Who are the sharks? Shadvarganakrama sukhena titiri shanti. The 6 anarthas like lust, envy, pride, greed, they are the sharks. If somebody is drowning in an ocean, even if he is an expert swimmer, how long will he swim? In what direction will he swim? And how many kilometers he has to swim? He can't see the shore at all. He can't see which direction is the shore. Where will he swim? How will he swim? And on top of it, whales are there, sharks are there, constantly trying to devour him. The sea monsters come to devour him. It's very difficult to come out of this material ocean. So the only way to come out of this material ocean is when we have a boat, a strong boat. And that boat must be driven by the Supreme Lord himself. Therefore, Samsararnava Karnadharaka Hare Sri Krishna Tubhyam Nama. O Krishna, you are the Karnadhara, you are the captain of the ship that takes us across this material ocean. So, the Lord is called Mukunda. And here is Bhishma who is meditating on the Lord as Mukunda. Please give me liberation. Please release me from this material pangs. Let me go to the spiritual world and let me constantly fight with you. In the mood of a warrior. So let me conclude with a simple story. Once, Lord Ramachandra, he went on the shore of a river. He and his brother Lakshmana and his dear wife Sita Devi, all 3 of them went on Vanavas, on exile, and they had to cross an ocean. A boatman came there. Boatman washed the feet of Lord Ramachandra and requested Ram, Sita and Lakshman to board his boat, and he's lovingly taking them across this river. Right? So nicely. Then he's glorifying Lord Ramachandra, he's exhibiting his simple, innocent devotion towards Ram, and Mother Sita was so impressed with this boatman's devotion. So she took a ring from her finger and gave it to Lord Ram and asked, My dear Lord, can you please offer it to that boatman? I am very impressed with his devotion. Ram took that ring and offered it to the boatman. And the boatman said, Why are you giving this to me, Ram? Is this payment for taking you across this river? No need of payment. It's free. Free service. Because I am a boatman and you are also a boatman. Because we both are of the same profession, there is no need of these formalities of payment. Right? Then Ram did not ask, he smiled, he understood his heart, but still he kept a question mark in his face, expecting him to answer, give a purport. You are a boatman, that is clear. How can you call me a boatman? I am the prince of Ayodhya. I am Dasharatharam. I am Sitaram, Raghavaram. How can you call me a boatman? Then this boatman gave a purport to his statement. My dear Lord, I am a boatman who who takes passengers across this river, from this shore of the river to that shore of the river. But you are a boatman who takes the conditioned souls across this material ocean, from the material world to the spiritual world. You are such a boatman who takes us across this material ocean. When you came to board my boat, I am not charging you. When I come to board your boat, you should not charge me. You should not charge me by asking some purity. You are done with lust? No, thoda bach gaya. It's still there. You are done with envy. You have no pride. You have no envy. No, please don't expect so much purity from me. I am a fallen conditioned soul. I am a struggling sadhaka. I am dozing off in my japa. Please give some concession. Please give some grace mark. Please pass me in the exam. Please allow me to board this boat. Take me across this material ocean. Therefore, the Lord is called Mukunda. Okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss 4 more shlokas, the last 4 shlokas of Bhishma Stuti, and also discuss few more glories of Bhishma Dev, and draw some parallels between Bhishma and another great special devotee from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also discuss Bhishma's predictions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many more exciting things as the last session of our 7-day series. So with this I will conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.